Alright, so this particular problem I only seem to have with the Hero 10, and that's when you charge it, like this, it will get stuck there. You might think that it's still charging, and that's because it's telling you that it is still charging, but this thing's been charging since last night, and when I started charging it last night, it was only at 40% or so, so it really I mean, it should have been done charging a long, long time ago. The reason for this is because the charging circuit or something in there is stupid. Now, I don't know if it's just incredibly cheaply made or if it's just another example of GoPro's terrible programming, but it'll get stuck like this. Now, if I unplug it, one-handed, maybe? I don't know. Make sure I don't break this really cheap, flimsy door. I don't know if this is polycarbonate or ABS. I think it's polycarbonate. Okay, so I unplug it. And according to this, it's still charging, which of course isn't possible because it's not plugged in anymore. Yeah. Now, what I'll do, I'll close the door. I'll open it back up again just because I want to check the seal to make sure there's no debris in there. All it takes is a strand of hair or a little speck of dust for this thing to not be waterproof. But, let's turn it on, or try to. Pressing and holding the button. Releasing. Nope, it's stuck. It's done that many times. Let's do a quick tap. That doesn't do anything. Press and hold for a long, long time. This is what fixes it. Doesn't turn it on, it turns it off, and then I can turn it on. It's a Hero 10 problem. It's kind of a GoPro issue, one of their many, many issues. I've been recording all the issues I've been having with GoPro cameras because no other cameras have these stupid problems. But I'm getting so many videos now because there's just so many problems that I don't know if I'll be able to upload every single one of them on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Did it drain the battery? Yes, it did. 89%. Way to go, GoPro. Glad I caught it in time. By the way, by charging last night, it was more like 2 in the morning or something. I don't really go to bed at night anymore, but yeah, 89%. So if you keep this thing charging and charging and charging and charging, well, eventually, hold on a second, GoPro, turn off. See, this one works. Usually. Every now and then the voice command acts stupid because, again, it's a GoPro. I had that happen yesterday. It was working great, and then I told it to start recording again, and it was on, and the screen was on, and it was listening, but it wasn't doing anything. And then I kept telling it to start recording, and it wouldn't. Then I started screaming at it to start recording, and then it didn't. And then I ended up just having to reach over my shoulder, because where this thing was mounted, and push the button, and then tell it to record anyway. But yeah, so anyway, going back to the charging problem, that we're not going to talk about the other problems with GoPro, but with the charging, you charge it, and in order for this power bank to stay on, like all power banks, there has to be some kind of power being taken from it. And it'll detect that, and it'll keep supplying power to whatever is plugged into it. And then the problem is that itty-bitty little LED doesn't take enough power. So what'll happen is when the charging's complete, this thing will stop taking power, and because of that, this thing knows to turn off because whatever's at the other end is fully charged and is not taking any more power. And under normal circumstances, what's supposed to happen is the light will turn off because the GoPro will know that it is done charging. Unfortunately, since the GoPro is made by idiots or people that just don't give a damn as to what they're doing, they don't care, the light gets stuck on and then drains the battery. So, really stupid problem that, again, only GoPro has. Out of all the cameras I have, which is a lot, not just regular cameras, but also action cameras from over the years, budget ones, name brand ones, you name it. The GoPros are the only ones that freeze. They're the only ones that have charging issues. They're the only ones that have lag. They're the only ones that require numerous taps in order to get them to finally figure out what you want them to do that day. They're the only ones with voice command issues. They're the only ones with app pairing issues, and the app's had quite a few problems of its own, but most of the time it's the GoPro, and I can keep going on here. You know, they are the only ones that have overheating issues. Now, there is another camera I have where it does have a thermal protection circuit just in case it overheats, but I've never once had that camera overheat. The most it's ever done is gotten warm, but definitely not the kind of heat that I get off a GoPro when it's been recording. Although most of the time I've recorded in 1080p 24 or 1080p 30 frames per second, and lately with the GoPro I've been doing 4K 30, but that's the highest I go. I refuse to go any higher than that, but even then, the battery life in this... Oh, that's the other thing, battery life. Good grief. Yeah, the Hero 12 is pretty good. That can finally compete with every other action camera from like several years ago, but every other GoPro, like the Hero 10, really lags behind in the battery department. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. So let me charge it again. It's at 89%, I think it was, which is fine, but this particular camera drains so fast, I can really use the extra 10%. So time to put it back on the charger because it's fully charged, but not anymore. It was busy draining its own battery.